So what is an entity? Well, let's consider the following user input into our chatbot. What is my savings account balance? That's obviously a request to check a bank balance, and in this case it's the savings account balance. But equally you might ask, what is my checking account balance? The same request but for a different account. In this example, the account you want to check is a variable element, and that essentially is what an entity is. It helps add relevance to an intent by allowing you to define an important element of the intent as being variable. So in our bank balance example, we might have an intent called check balance, for which the account type is a variable. So in intelligent bots, you can define an entity called account type and define that the account type can be one of the three following strings. That could either be checkings, savings, or maybe even credit card. But what if there are different ways of maybe referring to your credit card, for example? You might call it MasterCard, Charge Card, or Plastic, whatever it might be. The point being, all these phrases should still be interpreted as credit card. Well, the good news is that within the Oracle Intelligent Bots, you can define synonyms for any of the values. Now I'm going to dive into how you actually build these custom entities in the next video, so hang on just for a few more minutes. Okay, so that was an entity that was specific to the business domain. In this case, banking, and you can define entities that map to your business needs. So for example, pizza size, travel destination, departure airport, and we call these custom entities since they're specific to the domain that you're working on. However, there's also another type of entity, and this is called the built-in entity. And these are the day-to-day entities which all the bot builders will probably rely on when they're starting to build intents. So things like number, currency, date, address. These are, as the name suggests, already built into the Oracle Bots platform. So if my order pizza intent has a number and a date entity assigned it, then the request, please deliver 3 pizzas tomorrow, would resolve the number to 3 and the date would be equal to 2nd of August 2017, for example. What is interesting is that a different input might be, please deliver 2 pizzas on Thanksgiving, and the bot would still understand that the word 2 resolves to the number 2 and that Thanksgiving would resolve to Thursday 23rd of November 2017. So there is some clever stuff happening in resolving these intents into data that better fits your back-end system really actually require. So within Oracle Intelligent Bots, we have built-in entities such as address, which will extract an address and allow the bot developer to refer to any part of the address, such as the house number, the street, or the state. Currency will understand that transfer $40 to the babysitter means that there's a numeric value of 40, but also understands the currency symbol to be US dollars. And of course, it's kind of important in a financial transaction to know the currency. Duration will understand a measure of time between a start and an end date. So how much did I spend on travel last month would understand a start date of July 1st and an end date of 31st of July, again assuming we're in August. We even have a yes-no built-in entity, which will resolve to yes if it detects not only yes, but if the user inputs yup, yeah, or any other laid-back and chilled way of responding in the positive. So let's take a really quick look at how we can add a built-in entity to an intent, and then we'll test it. So here we have our financial transaction bot, and we've got a send money intent, and we're going to add an entity to define a date when we send money. So we just select date, and that's it. Now we can test it. And let's type in something like send $40 to babysitter tomorrow. And we automatically resolve tomorrow to a specific date. Let's change that to another date, something like send money to babysitter next Saturday. And again, we see that date is being correctly resolved. Okay, so that was a very quick introduction to entities in the Oracle Intelligent Bots. Now stay tuned to the next video where we're going to go into a deeper dive into this platform feature.